Good afternoon and welcome to the annual general meeting of Knowle West Media Centre for 2020. We hope you enjoyed the live stream of films that we had for you earlier this afternoon. Without further ado, I'm now going to hand you over to our director, Carolyn, who will take you through the process of the meeting.
So, hello all and a very warm welcome. There's going to be a presentation of our annual report. I flash here, probably you can't see it very well. And navigating 2020, and it's going to include all of the team here at Knowle West Media Centre. So the format of this half hour is an intro into some of what we've been doing and what we're planning. And then there's going to be an opportunity, we hope, for you to ask questions. And you can do that through the YouTube channel or through social media, and Rachel will pick those questions up. At 5 o'clock, some of us will need to leave to meet the trustees, but we hope that you'll continue to stay with us and ask those questions. And also to say that Martha, our head of arts, and Hannah will be breaking out to lead an online session from 5 to 7 with artists and creatives called Joined Up, Exploring Co-Creation Practice. And that's about sharing how we do things here. So we hope that some of you will have had the opportunity to watch the live stream that started at 3 today. And this included some of the things that we've been doing recently with young people, supporting people into working in the creative industries, involving people in exploring issues that mattered to them, such as well-being, coming up with solutions to housing and environmental issues, and creating tech tools such as the 2Fro app to support volunteering in our community. But don't worry if you've missed this. A recording and our reports will all be online and available for you to read via our website. So all of us have had to live with and respond to enormous upheaval and change over the last year. And sometimes it's felt like we're a very small paper boat tossed around in extremely choppy waters. And in our report, we use the metaphor of setting our compass according to our values of integrity, equity, collaboration, imagination, and resilience. But it's also about changing direction to be responsive to these upheavals of the pandemic and to meet the needs of our community. And then most importantly, staying the course. We've tried to remain steadfast and continue the work that is needed to address digital and social exclusion and to support our communities and especially our young people. It feels that collective problem solving and creativity are even more urgently needed right now. So the work that you're going to hear about is in 2-minute snippets, and this is literally the tip of an iceberg. There is so much effort and energy, so many people, and a multitude of great ideas that sit behind each of the pieces of work that you're going to hear about. But one of the things that I'm personally most proud of this year is the way that genuine and wholehearted collaboration between other organisations and the people in Knowle West has happened, and the care for each other that has been evident. I'm talking particularly about Knowle West Alliance. It's taken a couple of years of honest and committed conversation to bring into being. And as Heather Williams said, we may not have been sure what we were doing at the beginning, but the Knowle West Alliance was born to support people during this pandemic. And I think I'm paraphrasing there. Heather, you can correct me. So I'm very pleased to welcome Heather here in our meeting, CEO of Knowle West Health Park, as our special guest to say a few words about the Alliance and to kick off the presentations about the work that we do together and why we do this work. So over to you, Heather, and thank you for coming.
Thanks, Carolyn, for the invitation. 2 minutes is no time at all to say the brilliant work that we've done. So on the 21st of March 2019, we were at the park launching the Knowle West Alliance with a phrase of what can we do together to build an even stronger community? Who knew that a year and 2 days later, we were putting that to the test. 23rd of March, we were put into lockdown. Together, the organisations and local residents were able to set up a Knowle West Alliance hub to support the local community to survive the pandemic. We've taken so far 422 phone calls from local residents, lots of people coming back several times, and some people being supported throughout every week until today. So it's been a massive piece of work, but in it, we've grown the number of partners that we collaborate with. We've been able to provide food, prescription pickups, befriending. We've answered questions we never knew were even there, but it's the partnership that's done it. And the Knowle West Media Centre have been really key in that partnership, setting up the Facebook page with over 2,000 likes. The To Fro app that Carolyn mentioned around supporting volunteers on a local basis, made locally for local access, and communication has been really key. Without one another, we wouldn't have been able to do the things we've done, and the Knowle West Alliance Hub is held up across the city as something to be looked at and an aim to be achieved in other areas. So it's been a really great thing, and I could tell you 101 things, but I'm going to pass over to Penny Evans now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Heather. So I'm director of The Factory, which is our digital making and innovation and enterprise space over at Fulwood Green Business Park. And whilst unfortunately we've had to partially close our doors, we've moved a lot of our programmes online, as have other people and other programmes across the organisation. And we've had a great mixture of activities that include making these physical kits that have been going out on courier bike to people's homes, and some online tools and the very jazzy Miro, which we've had support with. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about a recent project we've worked on. This is in a collaboration with Walter Jack Studio. It's called Positive, Negative, Positive. And it's called Positive, Negative, Positive because we have taken the brass cladding that is going to go on the outside of the Energy Centre in Hengrove. And we have given this and worked with a group who've co-designed and trained up in design and fabrication to make some fantastic products. And these products they will take away, and that's the positive, and the negative will remain upon the Energy Centre. So that's a fantastic way of showing products, new products for people, advertising, working collaboratively with a really great architect studio, and enabling people to think about products and what they do next. And what they do next could potentially be an opportunity that you get involved in. So we've got a programme called Made in South Bristol, and this is part of our Make, Access, Develop, Enterprise programme. And it's where you can, if you have a budding idea or an interest in some kind of creative business, we are the place to come where you can find out about that. We've got support, 12 hours of support. You can come along the ride with us. We've got some really great specialists and a really great facilitators working on the programme. And again, that'll be a mixture of physical kits and online work. So that's if you're thinking about an idea, don't quite know where to go with it, or if you're an early enterprise, come find us next year. And then finally, we've been working Remake, Recycle, Rethink, which I've said around the wrong way, but you'll go with me on that one. And that is exploring the impact of common household waste and testing and making alternatives with biomaterials. That's going to continue. And then finally, I just want to say that we're at an exciting stage of finding some contractors who will help us remodel our new space into a fantastic state-of-the-art creative fabrication makerspace. And I just want to thank my team for the fantastic work they've done bringing all this together. Handing over to Lorraine.
Great, thanks very much, Penny. I'm Lorraine, Director of the Living Lab. Despite the challenges of the year, the Living Lab's ending on a really positive note. We lead on the research projects in the organisation, and looking forward over the next few years, we've got a £500,000 programme. We've got some major European projects, one that started on the 1st of January this year, Parkos, which you can read about in the annual report, and another one, Trilogy, that started on November the 1st. Our projects are very much working on the ground with local people in Knowle West, South Bristol, co-creating to meet local needs, but also then working with partners around Europe, sharing practice and learning. So we're working in those two projects with over 21 organisations across Europe. We're also developing other projects, been working with the University of Bristol, Bristol City Council, WECA, lots of great things, including the To Fro app, one of my highlights for the year was we took part in the European Network of Living Labs event in early September, and we submitted a talk about our work on diversity and inclusion, and we actually won the award for the best research submission to the conference, which was voted on by all the participants, which was over 400 people from around the world. So we're really proud about that. And I want to say a special thank you to my team, to Lucas, Karen, Zoe, Roz, but also everyone across Knowle West Media Centre who we collaborate with on all our projects, for everyone's hard work over the year. And I'm going to hand over to Melissa now.
Thanks, Lorraine. So I'm Melissa. I'm Director of We Can Make, which is our citizen-led housing programme. And I'm also here kind of representing Martha, who's head of the arts programme. This is a kind of combined reflection, and we certainly got some shared highlights because we work very closely together as well. So it's sometimes hard to remember that part of this year was pre-COVID. Things happened before COVID, imagine that. And some of those are highlights as well. So one of the highlights was kind of watching people come from across the city and beyond to Knowle West and come into a local resident's house and explore stories and projections of Knowle Westers aged 6 to 90 telling their stories of Knowle West, which is wonderful, which is part of a celebration of the 100 years of Knowle West as a council built estate. Another wonderful thing as well, and a testament to our kind of close collaboration in the community, is seeing Fieldwood Fantastic project grow and flourish, and the wonderful kind of embedded creativity that's there. So I particularly loved the mini golf design challenge that ran over the summer, which is fabulous. And then a real highlight is the darkness kind of descent, the lantern parade that went through Knowle West as well. We've also a real highlight. We're in the final moments of our first 2 We Can Make homes making their way through planning, and this is a kind of triumph of community-led social innovation and a new way to supply homes and land in community hands. So it's amazing that we've got to this achievement. And I think my kind of personal highlight was around making together, where just as lockdown kind of started. We began working with a cohort of local residents, learning digital design and construction tools, and then through lockdown, designing what is now the Block West Pavilion, and then actually being together live on site, community builders all making that pavilion together. The absolute joy of making together is just something that's not to be underestimated, and it's wonderful to be able to do that. And I think it's kind of best expressed, if you want to get a flavour of what that was like, is watching the film put together with artist Tim Light, which is a site-specific dance response to the process and the structure of Block West. And it just is absolute joy. And then looking forward to next year, we are finding more joy in the dark. We've been seeding a little programme with mental health nurse and artist Tanisha Barrett, looking at radical care and well-being, and we'll be going to be growing that next year. And then we're going to be live on site actually building our homes next year. So we look like we're going to complete six We Can Make homes for families in need in Knowle West, which so I'm really looking forward to 2021. And yeah, that's all from me. And now over to Dot.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Dot and the head of Young People and Emerging Creatives. When we went into the first lockdown, Jump Studios and 8 worked really hard to contact all of the young people, schools and families that we work with to find out what they really needed from us and to support during this time. We took what they asked for and adapted our programme to ensure that we were delivering high quality online workshops that suited the needs of the young people. With the changing guidelines and regulations set out by the government, we've been able to tailor our programme to have a blended approach, delivering over 40 online workshops and 42 socially distanced workshops. During this time, we have successfully ran virtual work experience, supported 15 young people to gain Bronze Arts Award qualifications, and ran virtual music production sessions for young people to create their own Christmas songs. We ran a 1-week intensive virtual Maker City programme where young people worked on social action projects, learnt how to use laser cutting software and took part in workshops run by artist Megan Clark Bagnall and Bristol University lecturer Dave Jarman. We have also supported Dee and Mavis through the Creative Workforce for the Future programme, where they have learned film and editing skills and had placements at Aardman, A Productions and Encounters Film Festival. 8 have continued to work with clients throughout lockdown on their live commissions, as well as supporting freelance mentors and emerging creatives so they continue to earn while they learn. We are gearing up for an amazing 2021 and continue to develop and deliver a blended programme full of music, making and creativity with a new member of our team starting early next year. And I'm going to hand over to Zoe.
Thanks, Dot. I'm Zoe. I'm the Sustainable Neighbourhoods Team Programme Manager, and my team has carried out a variety of projects over the last year with a focus on digital storytelling. This has been key in our work since March and moving forward, connecting people virtually and physically as far as sensible to each other, the neighbourhoods and the city. Sharing and embedding our practice is key to our local work, but in the before times, we were also able to share the Bristol approach much further, including Florence, Oslo, Leeds and London. Working with ARC West, we worked with participants in the How Do You Move project regarding communication of the Chief Medical Officer's physical activity guidelines. We co-created films about how participants meet the recommended levels of activity despite barriers. These were showcased in a culmination event in January of 2020. As part of our work with Bristol City Council on the Year of Can Do, we created podcasts sharing inspiring stories of community initiatives. In addition to creating podcasts, we've also run workshops for other community organizations to learn how to make their own podcasts. Connecting people with new forms of technology is an ever-present part of our work. Last year, we also engaged with people on a health innovation platform developed by the West of England Academic Health Science Network. We continue to find new ways to connect with each other, whilst highlighting the need to include everyone in the design of new technologies. We're looking forward to continuing on this path in 2021. Over to you, Jez.
Thanks, Zoe. I'm Jez. I'm Finance Manager of Knowle West Media Centre. Just saying a few words about the accounts, which were for last year. That's the year to March 20, so they cover the year before COVID. And that was a very successful year from a fundraising point of view. Every programme increased their income during the year, and overall our income was up by 39% to £1.5 million. The largest single grant we received was £300,000. That's part of a larger grant for new equipment and premises at the factory. However, no surplus. All the money we raised was spent on our work last year, but we did break even. The end of the financial year was affected by the start of the lockdown, and some of our projects had to be postponed. And that meant that last year's income was reduced, but we still had to cover all the wages in March, and so we could have made a loss. But fortunately, in May, we were awarded a grant from the Arts Council Recovery Fund, and we were able to use part of that grant to cover the losses at the end of last year. And this meant we didn't have to use any of our reserves, which is good news because they're already lower than we'd really like them to be. The main impact of COVID-19 came this financial year. And to be honest, if we hadn't had any help, we would have had to make staff redundant to survive, just to get through that. But we made use of the government's furlough scheme. Our staff agreed to take a pay cut between April and July. We received emergency funding, not just from Arts Council, but also from Power to Change, Esme Fairbairn, Youth Music also. And our regular funders kept supporting us when we had to switch our work to being mainly online. So thanks to everyone who helped us through the crisis. We're now on target to cover our costs for this year, and we're focusing on next year and beyond that. And our strategy is always to target multi-year funds where we can, so we spend less time fundraising and more doing our work. That was a very quick overview. If you'd like to see the accounts, please ask us. They'll be on our website, and they're also you can view them for free on the Charity Commission website as well. Thanks for listening, and back to Carolyn.
Thank you, Jez. So that was a very much a whistle-stop tour around some of the things that have happened this year. So and there's so much more information that can be shared. Some of it is in our AGM report, and a lot of it is on our website. And of course, the door is always open, whether that be a virtual door or a real door, for people to ask questions of us and come and find out more about what we're doing. Rachel, can I move to you and see if there are any questions that we have coming in for us, or any of the team?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have any questions that have come in, but we have had some comments on our social media. So I'm just going to quickly review some of the things that people have been saying. So Joe has tweeted us to say that it's great to hear about so much care, creativity, positivity and ambition. Kayla has commented on YouTube that it's great to see Heather as a special guest. Jess has commented that they've loved watching everything so far and particularly enjoyed watching Tim's movement piece, and it felt like a beautiful piece of listening. And finally, Tim themselves has commented, the dancer and artist whose film we premiered as part of the stream tonight. They said that they were honoured to have worked with Helena, Jack and Joseph, the production team, on the beautiful piece. So thanks everybody for getting in touch. I'm going to check quickly one more time, see if we've had any last minute questions, but it doesn't look that way.
So while Rachel is checking that, I firstly want to invite the team. We have a few more minutes. Is there anybody who would like to say anything, who has a burning urge to say anything now? Well, speak now or interrupt me in a minute, that's fine. If not, I want to thank the team here. Really, it has been an absolute privilege to work with everybody this year. It's been one of the toughest years, and there's been some pretty tough years over the 25 or whatever it is years that I've been around. But this is certainly one of the toughest that I've ever known. So thank you all for sticking with it and sticking with the community and all the work that we do. Thank you to our volunteers, particularly all the volunteers that have been so important in the hub. That's on all of the Alliance's behalf. Thank you to our trustees, and to say that we are actually looking to recruit new trustees in the new year. We have a couple of people who are standing down, so if you're interested, please do contact us. Thank you to our many funders who've supported us throughout the year, and as Jez said, have really stepped up. We're looking forward to really good and positive relationships with funders going forward. And thanks to our partners, Knowle West Alliance, Phil Community Centre, the Health Park, the Park, Rework, and all the other organisations in Knowle West. Thank you. But most of all, thank you to everyone who has participated and contributed to our programmes, who got involved, who got stuck in, who've actually struggled with the online. We know it's not easy. We're going to do much more around digital inclusion as ever next year. So may you continue to be involved with us, and let's go forward into 2021 with lots of positivity. So wishing you all a really peaceful Christmas. That's the first time I said it so far this year. Wishing you all a peaceful Christmas and a really great new year, because quite frankly, it can't be anything like this year. So Rachel, back to you. Any other questions or comments or anything that anybody else would like to say?
We've had a couple more comments come in on the YouTube video. So Joseph, who's the composer from Tim's movement piece, has left us a comment to say that it's been a pleasure to play a small role in this project. Great work all around. Thanks, Joseph. And Kayla has commented, you've done such amazing work for the area and the city, such inspiring work. I loved the Joy in the Dark session, which was last week, I think, our project night, and glad that there will be more wellbeing stuff in 2021.
So on that positive note, I thank you all. And if you want to share, this is being recorded, so share what we've been talking about. Certainly have a look at the annual report. Lots of great images in here, and great descriptions of some of the projects. And thank you all. Yeah, bye. Bye, everybody.